Remember the 11th of September. A man once said, "The men who create power make an indispensable contribution to the nation's greatness, but the men who question power make a contribution just as indispensable, especially when that questioning is disinterested, for they determine whether we use power or power uses us." So much has happened ever since 9/11 came and passed. Let's recap, shall we? Okay, on May 1st, 1776, a German philosopher and Jesuit-trained former priest who later became a professor of canon law by the name of Dr. Adam Weishaupt decided to establish the Bavarian Order of the Illuminati, which was originally called the Order Perfectibilis, simply because the Jesuit order was left in suppression due to the post-rejection of it. He was pretty pissed. So in turn, it motivated him to essentially infiltrate Freemasonry in all its components by way of creating a secret society within secret societies, all to perpetuate a global acceptance of world domination by abolishing every government, every tradition, and pretty much everything that consisted of the Christian faith, so he could then start eradicating the world of its laws, property, family, and morals. But that didn't pull through, or at least we thought. Little Adam and his wealthy followers enjoyed every second of his self-deluded utopian world for several more years until 1784 came and the Bavarian government banned and shut it down, or so we assumed. And definitely, after digging into some of his writings later on and feeling that they were too seditious, or should I say extremely unorthodox. So they closed down the order and banned this Freemasonic club forever, or so we thought. Funny how the Constitution of the United States was ratified and approved within its era on 4th. Read it. Awesome material. Couldn't live a day without it. So, wars were fought, contracts were made, revolutions were instigated and funded from both sides from the likes of the Rothschild banking cartel, and out of nowhere Freemasonry was gradually put back on the map, celebrating in secret to their Most High, the supreme architect of the universe. Most Freemasons in today's age refuse to acknowledge this fact. Guess it's what comes with the territory when you are kept ignorant to the idea, as Albert Pike states in Morals and Dogma. Crazy book. Read it entirely. Good luck. But the question still remains, who are the Illuminati? And who is the supreme architect of the universe? In one answer, the Illuminati are an extremely powerful select group of men from all levels of global influence around the world who work in the shadows of authority, consequently manifested through the occult practice of Freemasonry, which is an internal secret organization comprised of initiated newcomers, aspiring elite university grads, presidents, lawyers, judges, celebrities, professionals from all entertainment and academic practice, and wealthy billionaire men in key positions of political power who come from royal families such as the Rothschilds, the Reynolds, the Disneys, and many, many more. More wars came, new laws were passed, and more liberties were lifted contrary to what the United States Constitution allowed. But just don't take my word for it, let's just fast forward. Abraham Lincoln proclaimed to stick by his guns, and he sure did. He wanted to allow every American to gain sovereignty and consequently abolish the monetary system and the way it was conducting itself at the time. But delete weren't having it. So on April 14th, 1865, he was assassinated on the spot, but corrupted history states otherwise. We love you all. On July the 2nd, 1881, President James Garfield was shot and assassinated, but we are led to believe that he died from blood poisoning due to the poor medical treatment. Yeah, right. Fast forward a century. The United States Treasury held its weight until America plunged into a national debt that was so great they had to create an artificial universe of fake entities, people being recognized as nothing more than corporations, which in turn gave birth to the invisible digital straw man. He is on your social security card and is worth billions on your very own birth certificate and happens to be a stock on Wall Street. He is the name that is always printed in all capital letters on every presentment, bills, school loans, and essentially attached to every debt you owe. But you don't owe it, the straw man does. How funny, you were literally born into debt. Talk about trade, huh? This is the corporate you. On December 23rd, 1913, numbers. Congress passed a bill which allowed for the Federal Reserve System to consequently create money out of thin air and attach a slave wage and interest rate in conjunction to the debt that was originally stuck to the loan that was already circulating in the national debt that was already being paid off with another debt that was never even really paid off. Why? Because you can never pay off a debt with more debt. Simple? Got it? Good. The American dollar, which was originally backed by gold and silver, was now backed by nothing. Literally nothing. Oh wait, it's backed by the American people. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah. The straw man. The Fed swept the US Treasury under the black carpet. Go figure. Now the American currency system is backed by nothing. On May 1st, 1933, talk about a coincidence. Pick it up a notch. On December 7th, 1941, 353 Japanese fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes in 2 waves came and devoured 8 U.S. Navy battleships, killing 2,402 Americans, and in this, the Pearl Harbor history is made. But not in the way the textbooks feed you. What am I talking about? Right. That war was instigated by self-absorbed royal families of bankers in order to create endless war that generates stupendous amounts of profit for the people at the very top. Gotta remember, more wars, more money. Go to war, keep it sustained. That's the motto. How did they do it? Use the media machine to perpetuate an image of a boogeyman so that one side can retaliate on the other and fabricate news stories from both ends to their opposing citizens from both countries in order to create more hatred against each other. This is starting to sound too familiar. Sadly enough, during World War II, when communism was really at its prime, a few years later between 1933 and 1945, under the financial aid of George Bush Sr.'s father, Prescott Bush, once Adolf Hitler came into German power by the Nazi regime, he implemented a genocide murdering 6 million European Jews, allegedly. Look it up yourself. For what purpose other than eradicating the Jewish people did the massacre have to happen? I have questions, lots of questions, lots of objective evidence to support that the Holocaust was strategically set up in this manner for a big agenda that influences our generation today. Don't know what it is or who they are, but I guess it's best to reserve judgments until the facts surface. Sad indeed. Fast forward. In the summer of 1947, an unidentified flying object crashed somewhere in the southwestern desert of Corona, New Mexico. Allegedly, a ranch foreman named Mac Brazel told the sheriff of Chavez County about some strange material he had found in the Foster Ranch, and that he was sure it was the remains of a flying disc. Domino effect, here we go. Sheriff Wilcox passed this information on to the Roswell Army Air Force Base, and the base intelligence officer, Major Jesse Marcel, was immediately detailed to look into the matter. Ranch foreman, however, Mac Brazel, stated that he grabbed what he could from the UFO wreckage and went back inside his ranch home to see for certain what is it that he was looking at. One was a statement that he took an extremely light sheet of metal, almost looking like an aluminum foil, balled it up, and suddenly reformed itself back to the flat sheet of metal he originally picked up from the wreckage. The other was the discovery of this other piece of metal strip where on its siding it has some sets of hieroglyphic drawings. Weird. Following a few hours later that night, local news made newspaper headlines indicating that they had found the UFO. The next day, the newspaper agency changed its story and said it was nothing more than just a weather balloon. How ironic. Today's technology being a possible byproduct of what was back engineered from the extraterrestrial spacecraft that crashed in New Mexico? Possibly. Okay, aliens are just demons. We should look into that one. Pick it up one more notch. By the time the Federal Reserve was established, it had already groomed its way into every private prison, every bank, both national and international. Matter of fact, the more prisoners in America, the more money in private corporations. Back to the point. The Federal Reserve System had lost its control in the amount of debt it has created, and for this, John F. Kennedy came into play. He ran for president and promised America to abolish the Fed, and in return for saying such a thing, it was a threat to the global elite. So on November 22nd, 1963, he was shot dead on the spot while driving in a motorcade with his wife and staff. Lee Harvey Oswald responsible? I don't think so. Long live JFK. From whites hating blacks and pretty much any other ethnicity that isn't white, separation of non-whites through the destined color-coded stations got so bad the political activist Malcolm X took it upon himself to start revolutionizing civil liberties, but his sally ended up after him being set up, shot, and murdered on February 21st, 1965. But racism took its uncontrollable fleet until a bold, steadfast Christian pastor and doctor by the name of Martin Luther King took it upon himself to share his dream, and that was for every race of people to unite despite their racial background, and this is what put forth our civil rights into action. And after restoring our freedom to ultimately unify all races and being identified as human beings, it was accomplished. But the elite weren't digging it, so they assassinated Dr. King on April 4th, 1968, and used James Earl Ray as the fall guy. Fall guy? Wow, so much consistency. Gotta look into this one. So sick of these good men being murdered by the same people they are trying to liberate. So much for freedom. Even a family member? Yep. On June 6, 1968, not even 2 months apart from King's death, little brother Robert F. Kennedy was shot left for dead trying to follow his big brother's footsteps. Okay, so where do we go from here? Okay, right, numbers. Occult symbolism is adorned all over the US dollar. But wait, where's the owl I saw? Yeah, there it is, the Moloch Owl of Wisdom. Flip it on the back, the all-seeing eye over the pyramid? Really? In God we trust. I can only wonder what God they were speaking of. Could it be the supreme architect of the universe? I mean, it is founded by the same Freemasonic order infamously recognized as the Order of the Illuminati that admitted in their writings that their motive is for global domination in a subtle, sedacious manner. But where's the proof? Could it be in Alice Bailey's writings? Or even in Helena Blavatsky's? How about Albert Pike's or Manly P. Hall's? Let me look. Just looked. Wow, just wow. Where's on my mind now? Okay, it's 1970, 1980. What year is it? AIDS era or crack era? Wait, could it be possible that the AIDS virus may possibly be a government-administered disease to wipe out a large select portion of the Earth's population? I mean, it is engraved on the Georgia Guidestones, right? Okay, so where am I? The good old 90s. God, the gas is so cheap right now. Wow, beepers, jumpers. Whoa, look at the cell phone. Okay, who's the president? Bill Clinton. What is this guy saying? New World Order. What does that mean? Okay, no more politics, time to watch some cartoon. Wait, what is that? Huh? Looks like it's saying 9/11. Funny but odd. Have a book of stairs that I just bought from the Big Apple, but I'd rather just change the channel. Okay. Caution 9/11? Wow. Okay, so let me read this book. Quote, John Skillen was the head structural engineer for the World Trade Center. In a 1993 interview, Skillen stated that the towers were designed to withstand the impact and fires resulting from the collision of a large jetliner such as a Boeing 707 or a Douglas DC-8. Our analysis indicated that the biggest problem would be that the fact of all the fuel from the airplane would dump into the building. There would be a horrendous fire. A lot of people would be killed. The building structure would still be there. The buildings have been investigated and found to be safe in an assumed collision with the large jetliner, Boeing 707 DC-8, traveling at 600 miles per hour. Analysis indicates that such collision would result in only local damage which cannot cause collapse or substantial damage to the building and would not endanger the lives and safety of occupants not in the immediate area of impact. End quote. Pretty deep stuff. Good to know. I really need to read more. Okay, another doomsday, huh? Y2K, really? Well, I'll just sit back and see myself. Wake up, big day today. Go to work. Finish work. Heading home and changing clothes. Head to the deli. Finish drinking. Needs to go bar hopping. It's already night? Happy New Year's. Love you too, Mom. Mom leaves. Now I'm sleeping from a long night of binge drinking my life away. Wake up. The alarm is so annoying. Now it's on the floor. Keeps going up, so I grab the heaviest thing I can grab within my reach with my eyes closed and throw it at the clock. Bullseye. Wake up later. Feel convicted from sinning, but continue to do it because the world is so much more fun. Go to work. Finish work. Meet with friends. Go to the deli. Grab beer. Play pool. Go outside for a smoke. Then buy more beer. Head back to the pool spot. Meet a girl. Go back outside for another smoke. Grab number. That number's in pocket. She leaves. Don't have a phone. Can't call her. Damn. Tried to crash in my friend's spot. He's telling me that he's embarrassed of me always asking him for money when I already have a job to make it. Tell him that he can't understand my situation. He tells me to leave, so I leave. Walk home. Trip every 4.5 feet 6 blocks to my apartment. Get to the door. Can't find keys. Look on the ground. Wow. The floor is spinning so fast and I'm not even moving. What's going on with my eyes? Whatever. Where on earth are the keys? Okay. Back pocket. There it is. Open. Go up 2 flights of stairs and trip on my own shoelace halfway up the staircase. Damn, that hurt. Finally home. Wake up. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Aw man, what did I just do? I am so losing my job. Find change under the couch pillar. Go to payphone. Call work. Boss says you're fired. I stand in the middle of the street with such egotistical humiliation. Gotta go and get new friends. End up hooking up with bad friends. Sure, what is it? Okay, I'll give it a try. Man, that was good. Gotta get more of that stuff. Wow, already in jail. First time? Nah. Second time? Nah, it's a third, definitely. Get bailed out by mom. Says I can't move back in unless I get help. I say I'll do whatever it takes. She says prove it. Pack my bags. End up for 3 months in rehab. First month was boring and nauseating to the point I wanted to attempt mental suicide. Second month, now I'm really starting to understand this NA thing. Third month, now I finished intensive rehabilitation and I'm sitting in a circle filled with men singing Lean On Me by Bill Withers as they wish me their farewells. Love you guys. Get a job interview. I land a gig as a cafeteria lunchmate serving food to a local college a few miles out. Wake up at 6 a.m. Head to work. Now I'm working. Now I'm on break. Feeling good, but at the same time kind of odd. Very weird. Meet a couple of cool Christian men for the first time that started discussing the Holy Bible. Don't know why. They don't want to hear it. I was shown a passage from one of them. They open up the King James Bible, look around to see if anyone saw me talking to them. No one's there, so I listened. Guy opens up the Gospel of Mark and goes to chapter 13, verse 32 and reads, But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. It's 10 minutes before break is finished. Really stressed, yet for some odd reason feeling spiritually refreshed and at peace. Can't tell anyone. Still don't know why. Clock back in. Go to kitchen. Head chef asked me to get more knives from dishwashing machine. You got it, boss. Don't call me boss. Okay. Grab chef's tools, pass by 4 stoves, and 2 head supervisors are looking up with tears in their eyes. Entire building is quiet. What's going on? Supervisor tells me to put up the TV's volume.
Plane just hit.
I stop. I stare. I listen. Replay. A commercial airplane slams into the World Trade Center Twin Towers. News keeps repeating the name Osama bin Laden every 3 minutes. It's getting annoying. Doesn't make sense at all. The other tower's already in flames? What on earth is going on? It's a terrorist attack. Osama bin Laden. Responsible? 19 hijackers. Box cutters? What the heck? Al-Qaeda. Screens of images visually perpetuating everything that I learned, but on a subconscious level? Wow, this stuff doesn't add up. Well, let's just wait till the New York Fire Department rings everything out. I'm pretty sure everything will be alright. Go back to work. Go right back into the kitchen. Now the TV is showing everyone on the streets in ashes. Heartbreak sets in. Now tears are falling rampant from my face. Now the building is falling like a deck of cards. One subconscious assumption, controlled demolition. But I couldn't tell any different. Or did I? Finished work. Heading home. Now families from all walks of life are standing and sitting in the middle of the streets crying, hugging, fighting, shouting, calling their kids, calling their fathers, their mothers, their cousins, their aunts, their uncles, literally their entire family. Can't speak, refuse to speak with anyone. Watch TV, watch more TV, and more TV. Then get a call from work saying that the work is going to shut down its company for a week until Homeland Security gives them the green light to open back up. Something wasn't adding up. Go back upstairs and start reading the last page from where I left off in the WTC manifesto. Done reading. Go back online and look further. Go to a website that explores much more of what the WTC manifesto in light of the people who happen to be specialists in this matter. Go to the website. It reads, quote, a white paper released on February 3rd, 1964 states that the Twin Towers could have withstood impacts of jetliners traveling 600 miles per hour, a speed greater than the impact speed of the either jetliner used on 9/11, end quote. Thought to myself, how could a high-end commercial skyscraper building that was intentionally designed to easily withstand the tremendous impact of any terroristic jetliner crash into it, then fall crumbling at free fall speed into its own footprint when the jet fuel was already evaporated from the initial fireball explosion from the plane's point of contact with the building? First connection, I guess. No, the second. World Trade Center Building 7 gets demolished to the floor? Must have been the fire burst from the initial Twin Tower explosion making its way into Building 7. Wait, there's another attack? Another plane gets hijacked and crashes somewhere in Pennsylvania? Another plane crashes into the Pentagon building in Washington, D.C.? This looks like something out of a movie. Wake up, go to work, and all I can think about over and over is if those planes that hit those towers were by chance military drones. Didn't see any windows on it. Or did I? Man, I'm tired. Went home. Wake up, go to work. And again home. Months go by. TV is on break. TV news lady says that the U.S. Department of Defense with Homeland Security has published a book called the 9/11 Commission Report, in which details everything that happened. Gotta go get it. Finish work. Go home. Take shower. Order the book. Work. 8 days go by. Open up mailbox. There it is. Go upstairs. Start reading. No mention of Building 7. This is not adding up. Live life. Years go by. Abandon TV and look for other dependable sources of real-time information in my spare time. Spare time now becomes every time. Okay, who's Alex Jones? He looks legit. Let me see this film. Finish watching. Wow, now it finally all makes sense. Oh no, I gotta back off this AJ dude. He looks like he's in it for the money. Wow, too much ranting. Where's this cat getting his information? Never mind. No, you know what? I do mind. Why is it that men like Ken Hovind, Fritz Springmeier, and every other influential Christian activist who reveals this information is silenced? Yet here we have a syndicated radio host making millions claiming to be a devout Christian, meanwhile supporting the likes of New Agers such as David Icke among many others, and revealing the very same plans of the global elite on a massive scale. Let's back off of this for a while. Go to my mom's. She's watching a show on History Channel called 2012 The Doomsday. She cries. What's wrong, Mom? We are doomed. No, we're not. Look at this passage in the Bible. Wow, thank you, Jesus. She cooks me food. I'm stuffed. Kisses me on my cheek and wishes me a good night. At home. Turn on TV and History Channel was playing a special on what happened on 9/11. I watched it. Didn't add up. Turn off TV. Turn computer on. Started doing the most extensive research I could possibly handle in an 8-hour sitting in front of a monitor. Took notes. Took more notes. Talked with people who knew more than me about what happened. Learned a lot. Dropped my ego. Went to church. Read the Bible continuously. Attended a ministry. Accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Went home. Turned on computer. Said a prayer. Then spent 14 hours awake researching every day for 6 years, learning everything I could about the system I dwelled in. Finally, I learned. Was ready to start sharing the newfound knowledge with confidence and no shame. Started making documentary films exploring much of what the system has been lying about in our history. Met people, started sharing information. Passed out flyers, designed banners, made DVDs. Some believed me, some didn't. Others wanted to fight me, others wanted to hug me. Many accepted Jesus Christ into their life, others turned the other way. We prayed, we cried, we laughed, we saved, did the best I could with the information, but it doesn't stop here. There needs to be some justice. Just know, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. People need to wake up and repent. Will you?